What's up, Genius Nation? It's your man, Dr. Will, and you guys know the deal. Let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. Even if you're watching this on the replay, let me know what city, what state, what country you are chiming in from. I'm here in the beautiful city of Phoenix, Arizona, where God vacations. So wherever you are in the world, let me know what city, what state, what country. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscription button, hit the notification button so you know when we drop videos. Welcome to a brand new day. So all this week, guys, I've been talking to you about what it takes to build $1 million business. If you're a career professional, what it takes to really stand out in your profession and be known as the best of the best. So today we want to continue with that. And I want to talk to you about your client experience. I want to talk to you about your client experience. If you're a career professional, I want to talk to you about how others experience you on the job. How do other people experience you on the job? What's that taste that you leave in people's mouth? And so when you're building a business, the simplicity of business is to get clients, to make those clients, if possible, repeat clients, and then to get more clients. That's the simplicity of business. And so how do we do that? Well, a major way is how people interact and how they experience your brand. We talked about that, on our first segment of this. What's your brand? How are people seeing you? So I want you to think about the client experience. And so one of the practices that you can do, one of the things that I do is I take myself through all of my systems as if I'm a client. So I go to my website, I'll purchase something, and I want to know from beginning to ending what that experience is going to be like. And a lot of times, because we're online, we don't really think about that. You may implement something and you may think that it works, and you may have a certain idea about how it should work, but that's not how it's actually working. To give you an example, one of the things that we released several months ago, it had too many clicks to get the user before they were able to purchase the product. It just made them do too many things. And so we had to go back and make sure that we shortened that process. So from the time they had the idea that, yes, I want to purchase this, to the time they was able to purchase it, it was just too many clicks. It was click here, takes them to this page, click here, give you information, takes you to another. It was just too much. It frustrated the whole process, frustrated me. But unless I went through that, I wouldn't have known. And a lot of times that could be costing you customers. That could be costing you clients. That could be ultimately costing you money. So you want to make it a habit, and you want to make it a practice of you going through your own systems. If you have team members, if you have salespeople, if you have people that are answering the phone, sometimes you may want to call your own company to see what that process is like. Are they delivering the message that you want delivered? Are they on brand with how you want to be represented? So for instance, a lot of companies, I know we use scripts and we train our salespeople and things, how to answer the phone, how to deliver on the product. You want to make sure that they're doing that. And so the only way you can do that is if you go through your own process. In the military, when I was in the Army, they used to always teach us, you have to inspect what you expect. You have to inspect what you expect, right? And so meaning, number one, you got to train. So you can't expect something that you haven't trained on. But once you've trained them to standard, right? Once you trained your team members to standard, now you got to inspect it. And so on a weekly basis, we would get inspected, whether it was our room, whether it was our uniform, whether it was our workstations. Our supervisors, our leaders would come and inspect. So that's, what you got to remember. You got to inspect what you expect, right? And so when we're going through these processes, you want to make sure everything that you want the user to experience is what's going on. Because that, once again, is going to have a major play. When you have exceptional service, what do you usually want to do when you have exceptional service? You want to tell people about it, but you also want to experience that again. And those two things right there, right? What does that do? If someone wants to experience what they've just experienced working with you, that's recurring revenue. If they refer someone, if they tell someone, that's referral revenue. And if you can, win that game, repeat business and referral business, if you can win that game, man, you're going to be successful. So you want to go through everything. If they're buying books, what is that process like? What's the turnaround time for them getting those books? If they're buying your program, what's the process of them, getting into that program? I know for us, we're adding things, as I go through things and I look at numbers and I look at engagement. I want to make sure that experience. And so we're creating new videos and emails to check on them. Hey, you bought this product 2 weeks ago. You brought this product a month ago. How's it going for you? How's it going for you? This is what we expected it to do for you. Is that what it's doing for you? And so we want to know, by getting that feedback from our client base, we're going to know how to get better, because we want to get better. We know everything is not perfect. We're not trying to put out a perfect product, but at the same time, we want to put out our best product and the most efficient. So we're always going through. And we, if we look at things by line number, item number, and all that kind of stuff, it's a lot of stuff. Like, I have over 40 books that we have in our system that at any given time someone could be buying one of our books. And so I want to make sure the same experience you get with book number 1 is the same experience you're going to get with book number 10. And so it shouldn't be a different process of purchasing the book. Hopefully timeline should be about the same. Just recently, because we use a distribution company to send out our books, but recently someone emailed us, and it took just way too long for them to get their book. And so I literally went and I first started with the distribution company, to make sure that they were sending out the books when they needed to send out the books. They were sending out the books in time, on time. Then I had to go to the post office and track it. I went to the post office. I talked to the young lady that was down at the post office, and she was like, "No, that sounds way too long. I don't know what's going on." And then we had to put in an inquiry to find out, what was going on. And long story short, they found out that someone inside of their system wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. So it's like putting packages to the side and all that kind of stuff. I don't know they couldn't go into detail with me but somebody wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing. But if that client would have never reached out to me and let me know, I would have never known to look into it. So once again, you having a consciousness and you having being intentional about the client experience will help you find these gaps and help you find these holes inside your company. So once again, if you want to scale and build to that $1 million level, this is one of the key components. This is one of the key components that you want to focus on, is the client experience. What's going on, Willie? Good to see you, man. And so Think about your client experience. Go through it yourself. Make sure there's no gaps, no holes in it. Make sure that you're delivering on your brand promise, right? What does FedEx say? When it absolutely has to be there on time, FedEx. So that's their brand. And so they have to always make sure that they have systems in place to make sure your package is going to get there the next day. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that was insightful for you. See you guys back here in the nation tomorrow morning.